it's Jürgen. Just wanted to catch up quickly as we head into the Champions League semi against Roma. Since that big win over Feyenoord, the boys have been flying, 6-0 over Hamburg, 5-0 at Stuttgart, and we've officially wrapped up back-to-back Bundesliga titles. But now it's all eyes on Roma. It's a good test, but with the form we're in, I'm feeling good about it. Thanks for sticking with us, we're nearly there.
Hello everyone, and welcome to episode number 52 of Red Bull KloppBot here on Sean Does the FM with Leipzig. I hope you're doing well and coming today. We continue in the Champions League knockouts here in 2028. Today it's the Semi Finals and we take on a Roma team who only just snuck their way into the knockouts but have been the likes of Liverpool, Real Madrid and Manchester City. So hopefully we get in their fairy tale run under Graham Potter and make our way through to a first Champions League final one step further than last season. But to make our way through to the semi-finals yet again yesterday, had to get past finals. So if you missed that one, I'll leave a link to it over in the top right corner. In the end, it was actually a little bit easier than you might expect for a Champions League quarterfinal. Won the first league 4-1 away from home, backed up with a 2-1 win there in the second league. It did actually mean that we could show you guys a Bundesliga game against Gladbach instead of that second league. So got through that semi-final pretty comfortably there in the Champions League. Since then, we've played 2 games in the Bundesliga and, of course, our DFB-Pokal Semi Final. We'll start off with the DFB-Pokal singers. We're taking on a team from down in the Free Liga. Picked up a 3-0 win. Now, to be fair, a bit tougher than you might expect. This one did take us a little while to get into goal scoring action at the hour mark when Uzziel Marban did pop up the first goal, and then Diaz as well as Manga. They popped up with goals late on, so a good little burst there between the 60 and 75 minute mark did mean that we came away with a 3-0 win. Certainly not a great performance, but just doing enough there to pick up a win. Early stages actually, Paderborn were on the front foot, but thankfully got the job done there eventually and make our way through to the DFB-Pokal final, which will be against the Bayern Munich team in some pretty darn good form. Absolutely wiped the floor there with Bayer Leverkusen 5-0 in the other semi-finals. That's what we've got to look forward to in tomorrow's episode, no matter what happens in the semi-finals of the Champions League. But hopefully there'll be 2 finals coming up in tomorrow's episode. On either side of that, we've picked up very comfortable wins in the Bundesliga. 6-0 over Hamburg there. Goals to Cisco, a double, as well as Weyer and Magno and Almas also popped up with goals there. So a very comfortable win over Hamburg at home, and backed up with a 5-0 win away against Stuttgart. Weyer and Cisco amongst the goals against Cisco again picked up a double. Martel made it 4-0 at the 20-minute mark. In the second half, it was Weyer on the attack, deflected cross, which did lead to a Zagadou own goal. So very comfy wins there in the Bundesliga. And while that was happening, Borussia Dortmund lost their last 2 games. So go and have a look at the league table. It does mean that actually we're already the champions of the Bundesliga. It makes up for those drop points that we did have against Bayer Leverkusen and Gladbach. In yesterday's episode, Dortmund losing their last 2 games does mean that these days they're behind Bayern Munich, who are 10 points behind us with only 3 games left in the season. So already the champions of the Bundesliga. Unfortunately, no trophy left for us because Dortmund lost that game off the back of our win over Stuttgart. So I didn't see that. They might give us a guard of honour though in the game that I'm going to play in between the 2 legs of this Champions League semi-final in today's episode. But it does mean all our attention now can focus on this Champions League semi. You can kind of take the mickey when we take on Dortmund in the Bundesliga game, which otherwise might have been quite big if they picked up wins in those 2 games where they drop points. Now it has absolutely nothing riding on it. Probably going to put out quite a heavy rotation for that game today, Champions League semi-final, where we do take on Roma. The other side of the draw, Barcelona, they take on Arsenal. So I think it's fair to say, off the back of getting past Marseille, aka Prison FC, in the round of 16, had quite a kind draw here through to this stage and potentially also to the final. As I said, Roma only came 24th in the league phase of the Champions League, but since then have got past Liverpool, then Real Madrid, then Manchester City in the knockouts. Certainly doing a good job there at the business end of the Champions League. Graham Potter in charge now. He's the manager that we bet in our first game here at Leipzig back when he was at Bayer Leverkusen. Also likes a 4-2-3-1. Their captain is Gianluca Mancini, the Italian defender, come defensive midfielder. Quite a good-looking player attribute-wise. These guys actually do look quite decent compared to the last couple of teams that we have taken on. Lorenzo Pellegrini is the vice-captain, similar age, same nationality, and pretty similar rating there in terms of stars and attributes. But their key player, Artem Dovbyk, the Ukrainian left winger come striker, he looks handy, but to be fair, the likes of Sesko and even Magno and Kudus should have the wood over him. So I think in terms again of overall quality of our squad, might have the wood here on this Roma team, but definitely not going to look past them considering the quality of teams they've beaten so far in the Champions League knockouts. In terms of us going into the semi-finals injury-wise, we have thankfully got Caicedo back from the one that he picked up in that first league against Feyenoord yesterday, but unfortunately Malhero, who got injured against Gladbach, is still out for 5 to 11 days, so it does mean currently a little bit weaker at right back than we'd like to be, but hopefully can get the job done with Connor Bradley, and of course Adam Asnell has stepped up from our B team. They are a recent injury, but of course he's not registered for the Champions League, so thankfully just missing Malhero here for this big semi-final where hopefully we can get an advantage in front of our home fans at the Red Bull Arena. And here are the team sheets for the first leg of this Champions League semi-final. Home advantage for us here in this first leg as well. Quite easy for us. It's our best 11, just as I mentioned, as now as the second choice right back instead of the injured Malhero. There are Roma sticking with that 4-2-3-1 indeed. Looks like a handy squad. Got the likes there too of Mudryk at left wing, but it looks like a team that we should be a bit stronger than, so hopefully can pick up a win here in front of our home fans and go one step further than last season and make the Champions League final. And we get some early action in this one, a highlight from the kickoff here as Simons gets the action underway and plays that one back to Caicedo, thankfully just back in time from injury to be able to handle a starting role in this game. We should probably take him off early if we can, as long as injuries and poor performances from other players don't get in the way, but so far just holding the ball here from this opening highlight from the kickoff. Diamonde plays that one to Martel. Bradley, good quick pass there for Kudus, who finds Simons inside the box, nearly chance there, but unfortunately pulls that one just wide, so a little bit of a waste of time highlight, still 0-0. Albeit only a few minutes off back of that opening highlight. Now a throw for us here, bang on the halfway line this time. We're looking to get things going here down our left-hand side, I'll be able to say that. Now we spread it there to Diamonde and Martel and start to look out right yet again. Interesting pass there, and somehow Simons does get in behind. It's a bigger chance than before, but again, he pulls that one wide. So Simons there really should have put us 1-0 up. Unfortunately, his shooting boots missing early as Martel picks up a yellow card. Probably have to sub him off there in that ball-wing midfield role. Hopefully he can last until half-time. Going for about 10 minutes from that previous highlight. Now we have a corner. Interesting back pass there to Magno. Kudus gets it back. A decent chance trying to curve that one into the bottom left corner, but Kovar comes up there with a really good save. So early chances for us here to take a 1-0 lead. Unfortunately, not quite yet. And the goalkeeper comes out and claims that one. Still 0-0 at the 20-minute mark. And just making way into the last 10 minutes here of this first half. A poor clearance there from Roma. And we get the ball back here inside of the final third. Martel there playing it to Caicedo before it goes back to Costello Jr. Hincapi, bit of pressure on him, goes back as well to Costello, who picks out Martel. Now we start to go forward here. Xavi Simons looked like there was a decent run in behind there down our right-hand side, but it goes back to Martel. Now Xavi makes his way inside the box, pulls that one back for Sesko. Now, not too sure if he stayed on side. Hopefully he did, because it's a good finish there into the bottom left corner, albeit from quite close range. And the players are celebrating. We take a 1-0 lead here, 10 minutes shy of half-time. Did think that just before this replay started, could have played the ball through there down our right-hand side. Thankfully, took our time. Eventually, Xavi got played through by Martel and Sesko with a simple tap in there with his right foot. Obviously, must have been quite clearly onside, because don't even see the replay. 1-0 up, late in the first half. And there's only going to be 2 minutes of added time here in the first half of the first leg of this Champions League semi-finals. Mohamed Kudus also picks up there a yellow card in injury time, so we might as well sub him off here at half-time, give him a rest while we do have the chance, but we are in front there thanks to that Benjamin Sesko goal off the back of that ball from Xavi Simons, who did have some good early chances in that first half, pulled them wide, but thankfully set up that goal to make sure we do take a 1-0 lead into the second half. Manga comes on for Martel, and it will be Selt coming on for Kudus. Fingers crossed those two don't let us down, and we can build on this 1-0 lead.
Yeah.
And only seconds until the second half, going to be forced here into another substitution. Connor Bradley will come off the field, obviously right back. A little bit of a weak area with that injury to Malhero. Hopefully that's not too serious. Adam Asnell will come on early in the second half, still 1-0 in front. And going forward 10 minutes into the second half, now going to make another sub, and again it's going to be at fullback. This time Piero Hincapi picks up a yellow card. Kevin Kieran, some good form recently, can come on for him. Still with a 1-0 lead. In fact, off the back of that, we do have a corner going far post there. Not too sure who got up that one. Won the ball instead of Po Vega, but unfortunately just puts that one high and wide. Still 1-0 Leipzig. And we've been away a little while for the next highlight in this game. Just made our way into the last 15 minutes of this one. On the attack there, Magno puts the ball towards the far post. Unfortunately there, they do head that one away to Roma. We cut inside there through Adam as now down the right-hand side, but unfortunately that shot straight at the goalkeeper. An easy save. But off the back of that, Zabi Simons drops down to a red heart. Is doing quite well, having set up the goal that we did score through Benjamin Sesko. But Seguir will come on with our final sub as we make our way to the last 10 minutes of this game and still hold a 1-0 lead. So to be fair, Roma, well and truly still in this matchup, especially with that second leg being at home. And now they have a set piece, albeit for some reason they've put their goalkeeper up. And we've got the ball here, a chance on the counter-attack. Kylian Salk there will find Talismino, an open net. What are they doing, Roma? 1-0 was not that bad going to the second leg. They've hit a shocker, and Talis Magno can put that one away. What is Graham Potter doing? Going very attacking in our first leg of a two-legged semi-final. You absolute muppet. Off the back of that, we will start doing some time-wasting stuff because very happy with a 2-0 lead compared to a 1-0 lead. But goodness knows why they've sent the goalkeeper up there on that corner in the first leg at only 1-0. Certainly, they could go back home and pick up a 1-goal win, you'd imagine. Not too sure what's going on there, but they've got no faith in their defence at home because they've just done something really silly there, and we've taken a 2-0 lead off the back of that. Now a free kick that they do have in a pretty similar situation, but this time they've gone off very attacking. No sign of the goalkeeper. Restes here takes his time before pumping this one deep. Unfortunately, can't win that one there down our left-hand side through Talis Magno, and Roma here try and get something going, but good interception that from Munger. And again, might be a chance for us here on the counter-attack. Sesko takes his time there before playing it to Magno over the top there for Kylian Salk, who beats the goalkeeper from a tight angle. It's a horrible period here of injury time for Roma. They concede 2 goals, and just like that, we might have already put this semi-final to bed, because I'm not too sure if we're going to lose by 3 goals in the second leg. But some really interesting options there from that previous corner. This time a free kick. They commit a few too many bodies, not as many though as that previous corner. Good counter-attacking goal there to Kylian Salk, of all people, coming on for Mohamed Kudus at half-time. And we pick up a 3-0 win, but highly influenced there, it felt like, by that very interesting decision in injury time to send up their goalkeeper for a corner at back 5. We're just going to see here from this replay if we can actually see the start of that corner. Unfortunately, you can't, but definitely he was on the retreat, and we can't go back here on the replay option. But that goal did feel like the crucial one, gave us a cushion, and then Kylian Salk grabbed another one only a few minutes later. A couple of good counter-attacking goals there from some set pieces where Roma should be kicking themselves 1-0. Certainly not that bad, you'd think, going back to your home stadium, but they take a risk. It doesn't work. We're going to be 3-0 in front going into that second leg, and of course, it's our first time going to Rome. So before we get stuck into that one, it's time to check out the KloppBot's hotspots. So we're in a very good mood heading to the second leg of this Champions League semi-final, even though we've actually lost to Dortmund since then. But to be fair, only 1-0, which is not too bad considering we put out pretty much a mix of our B team and our under-19. So it's not too bad a result for us there, especially with the league already wrapped up. But now we move on to the second leg in this Champions League semi-final with that 3-0 lead. Now we're going to stay here at the Hotel Villon, located in a 16th century palazzo. This luxurious yet intimate hotel features Art Deco furnishings and vibrant art pieces, offering a serene environment for relaxation. Of 3 options the KloppBot gave us, this was the only 5-star hotel, so we're going to stay here. Here's the website. It does look a little bit FAF, truth be told. We'll just wait here for the picture slideshow to conclude. Even the people they're serving here have some very interesting uniforms that they're dealing with. Looks like afternoon tea there might be quite nice as well. Lots of art inside the hotel. Just go down now and see if they've got a gym or something else, which might make it a bit better here for a football team who might do a bit more work than usual, considering most of these guys are going to be starting in the second leg. Didn't play that Dortmund game, but apparently this is going to be our home in the heart of Rome. Very poetic there as we check out this hotel, 5-star hotel. So you imagine it's going to be very fancy. They've got a fancy restaurant which is called Adelaide, which is interesting. Almost sounds a little bit Australian. And going down further, and it's actually not the restaurant, because that must be a different one in Adelaide. This is the Rome one here that we are going to be staying at, so we better check out here this one, seeing as that's where we're actually going to be staying. Experience Rome. Here's the look of it itself. There you can see what we're dealing with nearby. We've got the Pantheon, some other stuff. Actually not too sure now if it was Adelaide in Australia or if it indeed was the name of the restaurant. We'll just go back here and see if indeed that is what's going on. We'll go down further. There's some tours that they can do for you. There's the photo gallery of all the things inside of this hotel. Supposed to be quite nice, hopefully it will be. And it looks like they don't mind some drinking as well, so that should suit us, especially with this 3-0 lead. Can probably let loose a little bit more than we usually do going to the second leg of a Champions League tie, but we're going to be staying there at a 5-star hotel. Now, 3 things the KloppBot's found for us. First up, it's a blimmin' treasure / scavenger hunt. He's got us on again, but this time, Angels and Demons themed, inspired by Dan Brown's novel. This treasure hunt takes the team through Rome's historic sites, solving clues and uncovering secrets. It's an engaging way to explore the city while promoting teamwork and problem-solving skills. So fingers crossed our guys aren't too dumb for this and might actually have cheered a little bit by reading the books as well, because I imagine this might be one of these things. If you haven't read the book, you might struggle just a little bit. A couple of photos there. You can see essentially just going around Rome and trying to figure out here this Illuminati adventure quest. We'll go down a bit further, the complete description, in case any of you want to check this one out yourself. We're going to do there a little bit of a Dan Brown book themed scavenger hunt over there in Rome. Also, if any of them have seen the movie starring Tom Hanks, they might get some help from there as well. So a few ways they can cheat the system here going into this first activity, but hopefully the guys will enjoy that little bit of a scavenger / puzzle hunt there in Rome, based around angels and demons. Next up, something a little bit different, a little bit more physical. We've got a gladiator training session. We'll step back in time and train like Roman gladiators. Under the guidance of experts, our team will learn ancient combat techniques, enhancing camaraderie and physical fitness in a fun historical context. This is the website I found for the local gladiator school over there in Rome. There it is. You can see some rather interesting photos of this place. Apparently they do team building stuff, which is what we'll be doing. But a gladiator school, it's not quite as fun maybe as if you're actually going to try and do a gladiator school for the TV show, but it still might be quite decent. You can see there, gladiator school, you get 2 hours without your phone, which for some people might be a bit of a struggle. Apparently it's fun for all the family. I imagine that should be fun. We've got 2 hours there of training, lessons led by members of the historic group of Rome. We can hire the clothing and weapons, get a free drink, and also can check out the Gladiator School of Rome Museum. So we can do a little bit of learning there, while also learning how to beat up people like gladiators. Go full Russell Crowe up there while over in Rome. And to wrap things up, we're going to get into the food side of things with a pasta making class, obviously in Italy. That seems like a really good idea. We'll participate in a hands-on cooking class where our team can learn to make traditional Italian pasta from scratch. This culinary experience fosters collaboration and offers a delicious reward at the end. Lots of carb loading here before the second leg of this Champions League semi. Here's the class that I've found here on Get Your Guide of all websites. It's quite highly rated. You can see there, you've got a love heart of spaghetti, and also I think that looks like fettuccine, not too sure. Could be tagliatelle, but either way, it's got cheese, it's got sauce, should be good. Also looks like they make ravioli as well, so they teach you how to make 3 different types of pasta here at this course. Also, we can enjoy a drink of Tuscan wine and finish with some limoncello, so some pasta and some alcohol. Sounds like a good end to our time here in Rome before we actually have to focus on the second leg of this Champions League semi, but be fair, in a strong position with that 3-0 lead. And here are the team sheets for the second leg of this Champions League semi-final. As I said before, with that 3-0 lead, does look like Roma are going with a very, very similar lineup and sticking with that 4-2-3-1. But so far in the save, fair to say we've hit the wood over Graham Potter. Just one change for us to our starting lineup as now comes in for the injured Connor Bradley, the only right back we've got available, because unfortunately Bradley is out for a couple of weeks with the injury he picked up in that first league. But to be fair, not a bad situation with the 3-0 leads. Hopefully it doesn't prove costly. Can hold on and book our spot in our first Champions League final. And just shot the 10-minute mark here, the first highlight might be in our favour. A corner here, which could as well put into the mix. So looking for Cisco there at the near post. Can't quite find him, but Xavi goes back out there to Mohamed Kudus, who curves that one into the top right corner. It's a brilliant start there from the former West Ham man. We spent a lot of money to sign him to replace Openda way back when these days, but that is a brilliant start for us here in the second league. It probably puts the tie to bed if it wasn't already 4-0 up early in the second league. And we're just about to make our way into the last 5 minutes here of the first half until we have to wait for the next highlight of this game still with that 1-0 lead. Roma did an attack earlier, but it was pretty weak, a shot from a tight angle into the side netting. But this time we're on the attack. Mohamed Kudus here makes his way into the final third inside the box. Squares that one for Benjamin Sesko. Very similar to the goal we scored in that first league about the same time too, from memory. Let's just see this time if Sesko did straight offside. He didn't. That surely puts this one away. Should be making a Champions League final here this season at RB Leipzig. It's 5-0 before half-time in the second league. So Roma, they've done really well to make it this far considering how average they were back in the league phase. But it looks like they might have used up all their ammo in those 3 games because so far in this tie, they've been pretty average, 2-0 up late in the first half of the second leg, and we go 5-0 up on aggregate. We'll just wait and see here if anything else does happen before half-time. Only 2 minutes of added time, and a very good spot here with this 5-0 lead. We've only been slightly more on the front foot, but XG-wise, definitely been the better team, Kudus and Cisco, with the goals, and it does mean we've got a 5-goal lead going into the second half of this Champions League semi-final. Everyone out there looking fit and fresh and no changes needed going into the second half of the second league. And we get an early highlight here in the second half as well. We do have a goal kick there, which we try and play out to our right-hand side, as now thankfully does control. And actually nice ball there from Xavi through to Benjamin Sesko looking for a double, but unfortunately that time Kovar comes up with a good save. Pulled out a couple of those in the first half of that first leg before that so interesting decision to send them forward for that late corner. That does feel like a bit of a difference maker so far in this tie, but unfortunately nothing doing from the subsequent corner. But now Kapi picks up a yellow card. We'll play things safe. Kevin Keir can come on with our first sub. Still 2-0 for on day and 5-0 up on aggregate. And just moving into the last 20 minutes here of the second leg, looking well and truly on here to make the final of Champions League very comfortably with a 5-0 lead. We do have a throw in here down our left-hand side and get going. A nice ball from Keir to Talis Magnan, and Caicedo pulls it back there for Keir. Now Martel plays it in there for Xavi Simons, who goes down. Just was about to receive the ball there with his back to goal. So not too sure if it's a smart foul, but it does look pretty clear cut. He'll wait and see what VAR does have to say. And indeed, it's a penalty. Benjamin Sesko with a chance here to pick up a double and make it 6-0 on the day. Well, he goes top right corner and buries that one like the top class strikers. That's 25 goals this season. To be fair, not as good an output as he had here last season, but to be fair, this year feels like he's missed a bit more game time through injury. So I dare say that's why the goal scoring output not quite as good as it was this time last year for us. But off the back of that, we'll make our 4 subs that are remaining. We'll take off Simons there for Ben Seguir in that cam role. Also, Talis Magno going a bit fairly. Bedenstart can come on. Drago actually picked up an injury in training off the back of that first game. So we'll give a youngster here some game time at left wing. 2 more subs we can make. I think taking off Adam Asnau is a good idea with our right back situation. Shabalala can play centre back. Kevin Keir can play right back. And Luke Kaber, he can go left back. So we'll just sort out that shuffle up there at the back with our defence. And with our final substitution, Moises Caicedo not quite on the green rating in box-to-box midfield, and also coming back from injury, of course, from yesterday's episodes. It's probably a good idea to take him off for Aljif Almas off the back of making it 3-0 in the second leg. And only a few minutes on from those subs that we did make in that third goal from the spot to Benjamin Sesko. Roma actually here are on the attack. Their first good chance of the second leg, but a good save there from Restes to keep it at 3-0 and 6-0 on aggregates. To be fair at this point, they're just playing for pride, trying to grab a goal here. In this tie from the corner, they try and put that one into the top left corner, but goes just over the bar, and we still hold a 3-goal lead on the day, 6 goals overall. So a very dominant display from us here in the semi-final of the Champions League, quite similar to what we did in the quarterfinals and sort of in the round of 16, but of course did lose the first leg of that one before that 7-0 thrashing of Marseille in that home leg. Now a poor pass at the back there from Roma. Bedenstart gets on the ball here, plays it across for Martel, goes looking for the bottom right corner, just misses the target. Probably the Bedenstart could have been a bit more greedy and looked for a Champions League goal there, could the youngster, but instead opts to be a bit less selfish it doesn't quite pay off, but a free kick for us here. Lots of highlights in this period just before the 80-minute mark. Martel now is on the ball. We'll find Kudus there down our right-hand side before he goes back to Diamonde. Takes his time here before looking to pick out, I think that might have been there, Kudus down our right-hand side. Doesn't. And Mudryk here can get Roma going somewhat on the counter-attack. Interesting hit to clear there by Shabalala. A really poor one that from Costello, but thankfully the subsequent shot from Roma goes off target, and we're still 3-0 in front. And we're just about to make our way here into only 2 minutes of added time in this second leg, and a very late highlight here as we wrap things up in the semi-finals of the Champions League. As it turns out, extremely one-sided, 3-0 scorelines in both leagues, but on the attack late here, Sesko on the edge of the box pulls that one back there for Bedenstad. Almas goes to Martel, who finds Kudus, who beats their Kovar at the near post. Kudus has been brilliant in the second leg. He gets himself on a hat-trick that makes it, I believe, won't have time to complete it, but still, very good performance here from Mohamed Kudus in the second leg, and we're going to pick up a win here by a bigger result away from home than we did back at the Red Bull Arena, so I suppose that might kind of make sense of that decision from Graham Potter and Roma to send their goalkeeper up late in that first leg, but that really did feel like a turning point in that league, grabbing 2 goals in injury time to go from 1-0 up to 3-0 up, and in the end, never really in any danger here of that scoreline being overturned in the second leg, especially off the back of that early Kudus goal. Sesko then got a double either side of half-time, one from the spot, before Kudus also picked up the double there in injury time in the second half, so a very comfy win there, 2 clean sheets in the semi-final against Roma. 3-0 and 4-0, we go through the final off the back of a 7-0 win. So easy as you like for us there in the semi-finals of the Champions League this season, certainly avenging our demons from last year when Man United got the better of us with that late Anthony goal. Still not sure how Anthony scores goals at all, let alone in Football Manager, but we do go through to our first Champions League final here at RB Leipzig with a 7-0 win, and that final is against Barcelona. They just did enough to get past Arsenal in the other semi. We'll go back the first leg that finished 2-0 to Barcelona before it was a 1-1 draw at the Emirates in the second leg. So Barcelona not quite as comfy as we were, but make their way through to the final of the Champions League. So we've got that to look forward to in tomorrow's episode. There'll be 2 finals coming up to end the season here at RB Leipzig. Of course, we do also have that DFB-Pokal final against the Bayern Munich team, who, to be fair, have been in some pretty good form in the back half of this season. So hopefully can pick up both those trophies. If we do, not too sure if there's going to be much more points sticking around here at Leipzig, because we would have won everything that we could here at the club outside of the Club World Cup. But fingers crossed we can find a way to defend that DFB-Pokal when we take on Bayern Munich for the first time in a big final here in Germany. We did beat them early this season in the DFL Super Cup, but don't know if that counts quite the same as the DFB-Pokal. Hopefully can pick that up for back-to-back years and complete the domestic treble, and also pick up our first Champions League when we do take on Barcelona. But hopefully you enjoyed today's episode with that semi-final win over Roma, even though it wasn't actually that difficult. If you did, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying the series here on the channel, also make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well until tomorrow for both the DFB-Pokal final and the Champions League final. Thank you very much for watching, keep on keeping on, and I'll see you then. Cheers.